Hi guys, I'm going to show you the strategy. I'm going to go through stage by stage. Okay, this is a confirmation based entry model, and basically entry process. I'm going to show you through. So just basically, I'm just going to go through a couple of things now. So first thing we need to know is the direction. Okay, basically the trend, and then we need to find the location, i.e. the zones where it's going to come to, and then we need the confirmation, i.e. the breaker structure stroke pattern. Okay, and then we enter. Okay, if we don't enter, we don't enter just on price. If it hits the zone area, we wait for the proof. We be patient. Okay, so we need the direction. So if we don't know the direction, then how can we put a trade on? We need to know the location, which I'm going to show you how to do as well. Okay, and then once we get the zone and the alarm goes off, then we wait for confirmation. Okay, we need a breaker structure and a pattern. Okay, which I'm going to show you the pattern now, and then we enter. Okay, when it does one more thing after that. Okay, so stage one, we need to work out the trend. Okay, trend is your friend. Okay, so we always trade with a friend. So we need to learn market structure, and we only trade, or only work out the structure and the trend on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, and we need to learn breaker structure. So I'm just going to go through now on this chart here. Okay, on the 4-hour, how we work out trend. Now I've marked this already. Okay, as you can see here, I've got a lower high. Okay, here. And then I've got a lower low. Now, because this broke structure, okay, here, okay, this low, okay, was broken by this low. This becomes a lower low. Okay, so one more I should have put in there. Okay, lower high there. Okay, so this is a lower high, okay. It came down here and did break a bit of structure, so you could really put that as a lower low and then push back up, but I'd wait for more before I enter and look for sells. I'd wait for a bit more of a structure break, which are here. Then I would look for areas here to get into the trade, which I'll explain more. Even though it did break structure here, it pulled back in and then dropped, you could have got a trade on that if you looked at it. Maybe look for the entry, which we're going to go through, but I'd wait for a bit more confirmation there, and then wait for the pullback, and then this is the low, this is the high. So we've got a higher low, sorry, wrong, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, again, the reason why this is now the new low is because it broke structure from here to here. So this becomes a new high, lower high, new lower low. Okay, now, okay, another one. It creates a new lower low because it didn't break this one. So this is now the new lower high. Sorry, though it creates a new lower high because it didn't break this one, didn't push past it. Okay, so this is now the new lower low. Now look, it came in here. Now I wouldn't be looking for trades here. I'd wait until it breaks structure. Again, it breaks structure because it didn't push past this one, so I wouldn't be looking at this range here. I wouldn't even be looking here. I'd wait till it drops past this one. That makes sense. So this is now the breaker structure. This is the new lower high because it broke this one. Like I said, I wouldn't be putting on trades here. I'd wait for it to break, and then I'd be pushing back, and then I'd be looking for trades on this one here. Creates a new lower low. Then here, this doesn't go past this lower high, so it breaks this one. This is now the new lower high, and then it pushes here again. Okay, I wouldn't be looking for trades, okay, because I'm looking for a push past, then looking for a pullback. So I wouldn't be looking for a trade up here because it hasn't pushed past this lower low here, if that makes sense. And then look what happened. It touched the area, went off. Again, I wouldn't be looking for a buy. I'll be looking for a sell, but I'll be looking for a sell once it's pushed past this lower low here, and it didn't. And then it pushed up, and guess what? It's then reversed. Now I'm going to show you, so that's a downtrend, and now I'm going to show you the uptrend. Okay, so as I said before, it hasn't pushed past this, so I wouldn't be looking for sales here, right? That's fine, but I wouldn't be looking for sales down here. I wouldn't be looking for a buy because it needs to pass this, push past this here, because at the moment it's still staying here. It's still saying it's trending down, but as it started reversing, and I wouldn't be looking for sales here. I'd wait, see what happens. I want it to push past here. As it didn't, and it starts pushing up, it breaks structure on the last lower high. So this now, we have to wait, see what happens. It broke structure, so it broke this lower high here, so lower high here. Okay, broke here, and now we'll start to reverse back up. And then I want it to break structure one more time to then show what it's going to do. And then I'll be starting putting out my areas, my zones areas. That's again, it broke structure here. So now we're in an uptrend now. It's telling me it's in an uptrend, okay? There you go. Push up. Now I can look for buys in these areas here. Does that make sense? So now you know the trend. Once you know the trend, at the moment we're trending up. So now we're looking for buys. And this is present day now. So I'm looking for buys. Oh, 2 seconds. So I'm looking for buys now. Okay, and my areas of buys is this, probably this area here. So I'm waiting for it to push back down and push back up again. It's broke structure here. Okay, create a new higher high, because we've got here higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then it needs to create a new higher low here, hit this area here, and then bounce off, or it could come down this area here like this as well. Okay, so I set alarms for this. Does that make sense? So this is trending up at the moment in the present chart. This was a trending down, this is just trending up. So it's just breaking previous highs or previous lows to continue the trend, and that's what you're looking for. Now you also got consolidation, okay, and I'm going to show you what consolidation, if I can find something. Here's a bit of consolidation here. Now this is, to me, is not doing anything. It's just basically goes sideways, as you can see, which we stay out of. It's not doing anything, it's just doing this. Okay, it's not really pushing out anywhere, it's not breaking any higher highs, higher lows, and then eventually it then starts pushing up, and then again you can look for it. And as again, push back here, broke this low here, and then it's trending down. Okay, and then I would wait for it to push up. I'd be looking for here. I wouldn't be looking for here, would be looking for here, because it broke structure here, the main body. I'd be looking for sales here. Okay, and then I'd be pushing back, then I'm looking for sales here, then it's pushing back down. Again, I wouldn't be looking because it's not broke this low here yet, and then till here, and then I'd be looking for sales here. Okay, wouldn't be here. Okay, it would definitely be here though, because it's broke structure here and then pushes back up here. Look for a sell there, vice versa. All right, so there's plenty of opportunities in the market. You just got to know what you're looking for. Stay away from this. All right, you want that, and you want this. So you got downtrend, uptrend, consolidation. Stay away from this. Okay, has to push out like it did. Once it pushes out, wait and see what it's going to tell you to do. Just be patient. So marking the zones, let me go through that now. Okay, marking the zones, right. So I mark support and resistance zones, okay, with rectangles as you can see there, not lines. Okay, I've got a video more in depth on this, but I just want to show you this as what I do. So I mark it on the 4 hour, and then I jump down to the 1 hour. Now I mark mine with a green box for the 4 hour and a red box find on the 1 hour. Okay, so we draw zones with rectangles, not lines. Uptrend, okay. So this, as it's trending up, okay, it pushes past this resistance. Now resistance is ceiling and support is floor. Okay, so this was resistance here, okay, and then as it pushes up, this becomes the floor. So resistance, the uptrend mark, the last resistance, but now becomes the support. Okay, so as it pushed through the resistance, which is the ceiling, pushes through, then comes the support, and then pushes up. Right, as it gets in there, it breaks structure, pushes up resistance, hits a support, becomes a support, and then hit this resistance. And as you see, it's just on resistance at the moment. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so uptrend, the last resistance, as it pushes through, it then becomes support. So ceiling is the resistance, support is the floor. As you see, hits there, hits the floor, pushes past, hits the ceiling a little bit more, pushes down, and then breaks through. Then that resistance, the ceiling, becomes the floor, the support, and then pushes up. Does that make sense? Okay. Right, for downtrend. Okay. So let me just mark. Now I mark, like I said, I mark these with a rectangle. Okay, so just for instance, okay, but probably maybe there. They're just another 4 hour, right? It would have been probably there, actually. That's what it would have been there. As you can see, look, it hits one, comes back down, breaks it, comes back up, bounces back down, hits it again, comes back down. Okay, so there's another area it could hit. Now, if you take this one across here, look, it's mucked around there again. All right, so could have had that there like that. As you see, if I push this right through here, this takes a little bit of time, a little bit of effort to start looking for your zones. It just takes a bit of time to get to. Okay, so I just wanted to mark what I mean here, and then I'm going to mark so that's the resistance. So as you can see here, as it's pushes up down here. This was the ceiling originally, comes back down, then breaks the ceiling because of support, bounces off the support, comes back down, then it breaks it through again, which then the support becomes the resistance, this break and hit. Okay, and then it pushes back down, and then you had a bit of a support here. Okay, you had a bit of support there. Okay, hits the support, hits the resistance, ceiling, hits the support again, the floor, pushes back up, didn't go that far up, but pushes past the floor, which then this area comes, and this area becomes, okay, as I push through here, comes the ceiling again, mucks around with it, and then pushes through again, and then does this, hits the floor, pushes past. So as you can see, it's the same area as the uptrend. Support becomes resistance, resistance becomes the support once it breaks through. Okay, so downtrend, last support is now resistance. Okay, uptrend is last resistance comes to support. I hope that makes sense. Just think ceiling, just think floor. Okay, I try to only mark two. I'm just going to take these away. I try to mark two, which I have done at the moment, but then I've gone down the 4 hour and I've just marked 1 hour. So this is the 1 hour, and then I've marked them again and just defined them a little bit, and then I would set my alarms on the 4 hour, probably set my hour here, probably set one there, okay, on the 4 hour, 1 hour, and wait for the alarms to go off, and that's it. You're just waiting. So again, no, so stage 3, you're setting the alarms on the 1 hour, 4 hour, as simple as that. Yeah, let's go to the next stage. So we've done stage 1, 2 and 3. Okay, I just want to show you now what we do once the alarm goes off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewind a little bit of this here to here. Right, this is, I haven't even prepped this, so I'm just going to go with it and see how it works. Okay, so we've come here and the alarm's gone off, right, and it's playing around. So we're on a 1 hour, alarm's gone off, I've come in, I've been working or whatever, and I've come in and it's still in the zone, right? So what I do, I'll only drop down to the 15 minute, and then I want to see what's happening here, right? Okay, so I've come here and I'm thinking, okay, well, it's still in the zone. I want to look now. What I do, I just confirm that it's in the zone still. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay. Once I've done that, okay, because the alarm's triggered off, I've confirmed that it's in the price area. Then we've got a couple of other things I do, which I don't, but it's a bonus. We have an ATH candle, but I'm not going to go through that now. If it's in the zone still, then we go to the next stage. We drop down to the time frame, 15 minute, like I said, 5 minute. I'm on the 15 at the moment. I'm going to drop down to the 5 now. Okay. As you can see, I've still come to the charts here. Now I'm waiting for a certain thing. Now what I like is I like breaker structure. Now as you can see, it has broke structure, right? And I'm going to show you why it broke structure. It's broke structure, so that's telling me it wants to do something. It's come back down, okay, it's come back up. So what I want in now, I'm looking for a nice little W. Okay, so I wait for, I've got break of structure, it's pushed back down. Now I need to basically show something. It needs basically I need a W. Okay, so have we got a W? Now is this internal break of structure? I'm happy with that. It's actually broke all this as well, which is even better. Okay, this is even better. Okay, it's broke structure. Now we want a W. Now I could turn around and say I've got a W here, but to me I want to see if I've got a W a bit more. Let's have a look, let's play around. Okay. Right, I'm happy with this. I've got a W here, right, as you can see here. Right, like I said, I've just not even prepped this. I've just basically gone straight to it to see how I would do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. My entry for this would be on that candle there, or that candle there. Now if I came here to that as well, I'll just put it on that. So all I would do is I would just put it on along on that. Okay, go down to the low, right, and then I just put quick 1 to 1, all right, and then I enter on that on the 5 minute. As you can see, it's pushed up, break a structure there. This is pushed back down. It's done quite a lot of hits on this zone. I'm happy with that. Let's play it. There you go. That wins. There you go. I didn't even check this out earlier. I just thought I'd go with what I see. You could have gone here. Okay. So because I broke the structure, then I'm looking for an entry. You could have gone 1, 2, 3. There's a W there. You could have here as well. So like I said, once I've got the W, what I forgot to mention, once it hits a W, sorry, my bad. Once it hits a W and gives you a W and it breaks this 55 EMA, my bad, apologies. So when I got the W here, I was waiting for a good candle above the 55 EMA because I want to buy. So I waited, and my entry, I could have put it there, but I waited a bit longer, got a nice candle above, and then I jumped in there. So it's just about patience. Have a nice candle above. Don't just wait for the time just to touch it or something. You want the 55 EMA to be broken. A couple of candles above it broke there. Yes, it did push back. It pushed back a couple of bits, but then look at it, went off. And it's just about being patient. Like I said before, you could, if I wanted to, you got here, it did touch there. Now you could have got in here, and what I probably would have done to cover yourself, I'd have gone there, and I would have done below this low here just to cover yourself, and then right. So I was saying before, so you got a W here, and you could have covered. You could have basically what should we have done here? You could have put a long on this candle here, right, and then you could have then gone all the way down here, and then just gone for a 2 to 1 on it. Not sure where it would have won. Yeah, it would have won as well. So it's just about like hit the zone area. I mean, just for instance, okay, let me just come back. So let me go back to the 1 hour, okay? When it first hit, let me just come back when it first hit. Right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to play this back. 2 seconds. I'm going to play this back to here. Right, so it pushed up, broke down, and it hit this area first, yeah? Now, hit once there, come back up, push back up again, hit again. Now, I like it, a few hits. Now, you could look at this one here, it touched the area there, and that's why I marked it, because it already hit twice. So it's gone, pushed it down, came back down. So, should I look for it? Should I look for there? I like it a couple of hits. I like 2 hits. One, this is a second hit, so you could get away with that. Okay, so we jump down to the 15 minute, okay, and have a look. I like the 5 minute on this. Okay, so what we're looking for now, we're looking for a W. So let's just play for it, play it. Okay, we've got a W there. you could say there's a W here. I mean, the W doesn't have to be exact. Okay, I mean, even if you go like this, and then up, right? You could have entered there. Now, just for instance, I'm going to say you're going to enter here, right? I could enter on this candle, close here. Yes, it's drawing down, but I'll go cover my low there, right? Let's just do it's hit once, it's done the W. Again, this is not me knowing what if it wins or loses. So if it wins, it loses. I want to show you like a bit of drawdown, then starts pushing back up. Right, this is when the first time it hit. You could move your stake profit as well. So because you're in like 2 to 1, you could just move it up and then just break even. So if it did come back down here, then you haven't lost anything. So it's another way of doing it. All right. Okay, so technically you're still in the trade now, and then it would have taken break even if you took it to that. So it got close and then dropped, but then again, look, it's just gone right up again. It's touched again. All right. So let me just rewind this a little bit again. Stop this here. Let me just rewind this a bit. Let me just see if I've got a W again. 2 seconds. So. Right, let me just see if I've got a W. Well, you could turn around and say that's a W, and then it's got a nice candle out there. So, well, you could put one again on that. This is just on one pair, by the way, in hitting multiple areas. So it's broke the 55 EMA, and then like give me the W. Broke the 55 EMA, and then it plays around. Did it take me out? Maybe. It's playing around a little bit. Let's see. It's took once, took twice. It's probably going to take me out anyway, but I just want to show you there is multiple. Yeah, so that would have took me out on that one, right? It would have, no, it kept me in there probably. Still kept me in on that one. So it would have been on this one. You would have been lucky on that one. So we'd lost on that one. Or maybe broke even on that one if you moved it, or you kept it on and you would have been in that. You would have. Let's see if we win on all of them. So lost, win, win, win. Yeah, it would have won. So CV would have won. I think they would have won. So yeah, you would have had that one, you would have had that one, and you would have had that one. And if no, you didn't get this one anyway. So you'd have 2, 4, 6 minus a 1, 5. That's not in that small little trade there in a few days of 5%. So not bad. So yeah, stop that now. So it's just about knowing the zones. Okay, so let me just go over it. Okay, so first thing we need to do, we need to know trend. Okay, like trend is your friend. I know it's Jad, but trend is your friend. All right, if you know the trend, then you can basically trade with the trend. Okay, and then we work out trend on the 4 hour. Okay, marking the higher highs and higher lows for the uptrend, and then marking the lower lows and the lower highs for the downtrend. Okay, we only trade with the 4 hour trend. Okay, then we mark the zones. Okay, now this takes practice, so it's just to go on the charts and marking the zones where the hit points. So like one hit there, push back down, hit there again. So that's the zone. Push back up, came down here, hit this one, came back up. Now, because it hit once here and then went back up and it hit again, right? Second time, right? You can go right. Well, put a trade on. You can, if you want to, you can wait till the third time it hits and then hit here. So you didn't have to do this one here. You could have waited, and then when it hits again, that's another zone. Chances it's going to bounce off again because it's hitting, and then you got the ceiling hitting the area. So you work out, okay, what the zones are. Okay. So you might only mark the 4 hour and then you refine them on the 1 hour, okay? So you're working out the trend as it is first. And then marking out the zones, you using the rectangle, okay guys? Using the rectangle, not lines, rectangle. Okay, uptrend, mark the resistance, last resistance, then becomes support. The downtrend is mark of the last support and now becomes a resistance, okay? So think of a floor, okay? On an uptrend, this becomes a floor, okay? And then it hits there, it becomes resistance. And as it pushes through, the resistance comes to the floor, okay? So uptrend, floor, resistance, which is a ceiling. Floor, which is a support. Ceiling is the resistance. As it pushes through, the resistance comes as support, okay? So the floor, so the ceiling comes to floor. That makes sense. Now, like I said, I only mark 2 zones on each time frame normally. And then once you've done that, you mark the alarms on the 4 hour or the 1 hour, okay? You can decide. Sometimes it's better just to do the 1 hour, okay? And then wait for the alarms to go off. Once the alarms go off, okay, you're checking, is it in the zone? Okay, is it still in the zone when you get to it? Okay, because it could be out the zone and way gone and you've missed it. So you wait sure. If it is in the zone, then go drop down to the 15 minute, okay, or the 5. Now I like the 5. Okay, once you get to the 5, you're looking for a W for an up move and an M for a down move, okay? We'll go through some down moves later, for some sells with the M's, but anyway, so what you're also looking for is break a structure, okay? Let me just show you with that 5 minute, well, what am I going to break a structure? So it's only internal break a structure, guys, okay? Look, so it came down here, right? This is class of structure, broke this structure. This is the internal instructor structure. This is the last structure. As it pushed down, that's a high, then a low, then a high. So it broke this structure. I'm happy it's internal break a structure. As it pushed up, it broke all these highs here and pushed up. So telling me it wants to go up, push back down, and then it started pushing back up again. Okay, so that's break a structure. Okay, internal break a structure. Now internal break a structure and the W or the M will happen roughly about the same time, as you can see there. Okay, as you can see. All right. Then what you're looking for is this line here is a 55 EMA. Very easy to set up on your charts. We go over that. If you don't, just message me and I'll show you. And then you're waiting for it as an up move. You're waiting for the break of the EMA, the close of the good candle. It has to be a good strong candle above the 55 EMA. Okay, not a little nibble above or one line. It has to be a good, say, a body or half, 3/4 of a body over the candle. As you can see, look there, that's a good 3/4 of a body, and then you got another body, and I ended on that body there. Not a wick, okay, has to be a good body. All right, just reminder that. Okay, so that's a buy, and then on a sell, it has to be below the 55 EMA. So if it's a good candle above there, and then you would just say, for instance, I'm not going to do it obviously because it's just, I'm just showing you short. So just for instance, broke there, and they'd be like that, right? Because that candle is below the 55 EMA. Okay, that makes sense. So a buy is above the 55 EMA, a sell is below the 55 EMA. Good candle, okay, and then stop loss below the last low. Okay. Like I said, I went down here and a little bit of padding. Okay, simple rules that you need to keep you safe. Okay, guys, no zone, no trade, no breaker structure, no trade, no pattern, no trade. Patient is the edge. Okay, just be patient. Okay, I've got a little checklist that you can put on. All right, I'll just put it on now actually. So you got it. This is a little one here. Work. So look, yeah, there you go. So one line checklist. Okay, 4 hour trend, you need the trend, then the zones, make sure it hits it, then the reaction of it. Okay, so we need that little reaction, breaker structure and pattern. Like I said, happens roughly at the same time. You can do it on the 50 as well, or you can actually do it on the 1 hour as well, but it must break the 55 EMA. Okay, so you need that. the fingers with the 1 hour sometimes is the W could be and the M could be a bit weird, and sometimes doesn't happen, and then you lose out on that trade. Where if you drop down to a lower time frame, you'll get it, but you can still do it. Just wait for the break, the 55 EMA, and just basically just demo your trades, and you can then go, well, I don't need the W or the M on the 1 hour or the 4 hour, because it doesn't really do that on that, but lower time frames it does. Okay, but that's up to yourself. But if you stick to this here, and just stick to the 5 minute, 15 minute, this is what you use. Okay, happy days. Right, hope you enjoyed the video. I also use Sniper Pro, and that gives me that bit of an edge as well. So if you want to know about Sniper Pro, it gives you a card, gives me the candle. You also get a lot more stuff with the community. If you want to know a bit more on that, just let me know. But yeah, but this is an awesome strategy, and it does work a treat. All I'm saying, this is not financial advice. This is just a learning education. So I hope you like the video. Please let me know. Please like and follow. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Bye.